Hello everybody, my name is Cheswell, but you could call me Ethan. In this video, I'm going to be doing a Hamm 3 print paint sanding. It's mostly just sanding because it takes forever, it's so tedious. But this is mostly an inspired video done by a guy named ZDB who does a lot of Toy Story movie accurate models just like this. Apologies for the rumbling in the background. I am currently recording this on top of a dryer because it's the only place of privacy I can get in my apartment. This project took a while to complete. At first I tried to learn Blender to try to model it myself. Similarly in ZDB's video, he took the Kingdom Hearts 3 model of Hamm, which is already a pretty well done model, but since it's open source you can grab it off the internet and edit it yourself. So there's a couple inaccuracies with the model itself, namely the head is tilted up when it should be down, the piggy bank slot isn't actually slotted, it's pretty solid. You need to actually get the thing to be hollow so you can fill it in. The cork bottom wasn't right. There was just a bunch of issues with it that I tried to fix myself, seeming that these are pretty simple things to fix. But Blender being as complicated as it was, I really couldn't do it myself. So I had this one person who helped me out so much. Their name was Rose Kolodny, and they basically helped me out with the entire Blender side of the project, which was the part that I couldn't really figure out myself. So they spent many hours in one day just helping me figure out exactly what I wanted to do with fixing those issues to get my project done. And honestly, everything they told me, I couldn't really figure it out, so they ended up kind of mostly doing it for me. But despite that, they actually taught me a lot about Blender, and I kind of know the basics of it now just because of them. And honestly, it was so kind of them to do that for me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing that for me once again. So once I was done with the 3D modeling aspect of the project, I wanted to get it printed, obviously. And I don't have a 3D printer, so I had it sent out to a 3D printing company that is local to me. Now, when I sent it to them, they figured out that the model wasn't really suitable for printing itself, so they went out of their way to completely remodel it for me so that it could be exactly the way I wanted and perfect for the printer. Now, I really wish I could shout them out because of how amazing their service was, but I'm not going to just because they're a local company and that's going to kind of expose my location, which I'd rather not do. So before I sent it to the 3D printing company, I had a friend, James, again, who offered to print it for me at the university as a sort of birthday present. And it didn't turn out as I would have liked. It was a little bit too small, so I couldn't really get the details in there that I liked. And it worked as a bank, but you can kind of see the bottom here. There's too many lines to even fix for sanding. I managed to get a cork in there. It wasn't big enough, so I kind of hot glued the side so it would fit. So once it was printed out, I gave it a good sanding job, as you saw earlier in the video, and I also gave it a new coat of paint because I didn't think that the filament color of pink was very beige enough, and in the movie it's a lot more beige with a tint of pink, so I did my best to try to replicate that with mixing colors and everything. I don't show this in the video, but afterwards I did give it a satin finish just so that it could seal the paint in, even though I believe that even before the coat the matte was a little bit better, so I wish I maybe had a matte finish over a satin, but it was what I went with and it turned out okay in the end anyway. Also painted the eyes black, toes black, and then a little bit of pink and darker pink in the nose and ears. So I wanted a genuine cork bottom, just like the pig in the movie, but the ones I ordered were a little bit too big in diameter, so I ended up cutting and shaving down the sides of one of them so that it actually fit in the bottom. It kind of looked rough, but despite that it fit, and you can't really see it since it's inside anyway, so it worked out in the end. Here is the final result. I am quite happy with it. It turned out really nicely. I've got some coins in it right now as it's kind of rattling, so didn't want to leave those around. The cork fits in at the bottom. You can't really see the rough cuts, but yeah. And this is a comparison between the smaller one. As you can see, it is much smaller in size, and this is the more movie accurate size put between other characters of the show. This is the more correct version. I don't really have a good setup here to actually show it off, because I'm kind of just got a small place right now and not many tools, but this is kind of the best I can do. Get it from this angle as well. So here's Hamm next to the Woody and Buzz Lightyear. I've also got some Toy Story of Terror characters there. I'll probably be showing how to build this one if this video is done or gets received decently. It's also something ZW has done, but I refined it a little bit because I found his version to be a little bit off. But yeah, that's how it looks. And putting the smaller one next to them, also, you can see he was far too small, as he does not look that small in the movies. Here's a little video to show off the final product just as it is. I'd like to mention that down in the description below, if you'd like to make this yourself, I've included the 3D file that I used to print this one out. I just want everybody else to be able to do this themselves, and it's not really accessible. A lot of people aren't 3D modelers, just like me, I'm not. And most people don't want to pay $200 just to get one commission made. So if you'd like to do that yourself, 3D files down below, you can print it yourself. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching.